Hello, my name is Navigator, and in today's quick video, we're just going to be going over some recent pickups. It's pretty late here, and I just want to get through this really quickly. So, I went to Buffalo this weekend. I made a couple stops along the way, and I will address all that as we get there. So, the first thing we have here is just some pickups from Ravenswood Comics before I left town this weekend. The first of which is going to be, and actually, I lied. There's some more comics from another place. I lied there. The first is going to be The Adventures of Superman number 527. This is apparently the first appearance of Alpha Centurion, or at least the one that I've kind of been obsessed with as of late. But it's a really cool superhero. I'm not going to get into his backstory. I may have in a previous video. I don't know. But go look up the superhero Alpha Centurion. I'm a massive fan of him. Hell, I might even make him the thumbnail. We'll have to see. But I'm a big fan of him, so yeah, go look up Alpha Centurion. Some other comics that I grabbed from Ravenswood is going to be this 10 for a dollar comic grab bag, and I like kind of opening these on my own, seeing what's inside, so I'll save this for myself. It's usually nothing too crazy, but I always love a little mystery thing. And then from Kingpin Comics and Gaming in what is it, Tonawanda, New York, I grabbed Junkyard Joe issue 3 and Rook Exodus issue 1. I'm really trying to get into this unnamed universe from Image with like Rook and Geiger, Junkyard Joe and Redcoat, and this is the first issue of Rook, who's apparently a prominent character. We'll have to see. Another thing from Kingpin Comics and Gaming is they had these really cool business cards. They're plastic see-through there, so let me see if maybe if I put them together. I just wanted to grab two just for the hell of it. But let me see if I can show off their details there. Let's just try to do one here. There you go. If you were curious about Kingpin Comics and Gaming. Wow, that sounds like a mouthful. Try saying that 10 times. But there's the comics right there. And actually, we'll move these to the side. A couple other little things of literature that I have is just going to be some decals here from one of my collector friends, John Sig, for Swerve's AEW Championship belt. So I'm going to try to stick those on there, and we'll see how that goes. All right, from that 80s toy shop, I did pick up some loose action figures. The first two of which is going to be a loose Buff Bagwell. I think this is kind of like that Toy Biz, maybe WCW. What? Let's see if I can hold it up to the light. What brand was doing it? Marvel. I guess Marvel was doing there. Yeah, what? Marvel, Toy Biz? I don't know. But a Buff Bagwell loose figure. I do not have any Buff Bagwell figures. I'm a huge fan of him, so it's kind of cool to find one of those just laying around. And then speaking of loose figures, we also got this awesome Toy Biz TNA Abyss action figure, the first Abyss action figure that I've ever owned. And this should maybe fit well with some 6-inch figures. We'll have to see after I clean them up and kind of pose them around. But we do have that, an Abyss figure. Shout out to that 80s. We also grabbed Wesley or I guess I should say Xavier Lee, right? And Zachary Wentz of the Rascals. I've kind of been bending the rule of adding elites to my AEW collection. I added a Tommaso Ciampa because he joined, and I figured because they had these awesome figures of them, I would get the Rascals. And honestly, this one might even be my old one. I actually traded in my Nash Carter. I never had the Wes Lee, but I figured I'd pick these up and add them to my AEW collection because, hell, these guys might be tag team champions pretty soon. We'll just need a Myron Reed figure or something like that along the way. Another really cool figure that I grabbed, because you guys know that I'm a huge fan of Mattel and the DC Universe Classics. I'm also actually a fan of the Masters of the Universe Classics collection, and we have Darius here. And I thought this guy looked really cool. He looked like a Spartan, which is kind of why I grabbed him. Not really a fan of that weapon, that ball and chain whip he has, but I thought this was really cool, especially for only $20. Another kind of Mattel DCUC MOTUC molding there. I'm a big fan of that molding. I also have two other of those figures. I have what is it, like Ra or Hero 2, and then Rio, whatever, the Western guy. You guys know I love my cowboy stuff. All right, two other figures that I have that I'm actually going to have separate reviews of is going to be Albert Alpine, or Pine. You guys see right there. So trust me, it's not my tongue being tied. It's literally Albert Alpine Pine. But I actually also got this at Kingpin Comics and Gaming. I was able to barter with the owner there, I guess, and kind of get a good deal on this for $18. But yeah, so pretty cool there, and I will have a review of that, along with the Dreadnought, Naugahyde, Pork Belly, and Yabo figures as well. So they are actually out of the packaging here because I did videos of them already, so be sure to check those out. Those came in, or at least Naugahyde did, from Amazon over the weekend. And then the final things that I have here is just going to be two other figures from my collector friend John Sig, that being the variant, I guess you could say, Jim Cornette from Figures Toy Company, and the Sandman as well. This one's really cool. He even has a little hole there in his mouth where you could put a cigarette, which I love that little detail. So we will leave it there, folks. Quick little review, 5 minutes. I think that's perfect. And as always, folks, my name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.